Good evening, everyone. We want to welcome you to Redox Nurse Talk tonight. I'm Cindy Reed, and I'm a nurse here in Nashville, Tennessee. And my co-host Doria Stewart is a nurse in Atlanta, but unfortunately Doria's out tonight. She's a little under the weather, so prayers to Doria for tonight, for missing her. So hopefully I can keep my mind on track and we'll manage to muffle through this. I'm going to start by just, like I said, I'm a nurse from Nashville, and when I ran across this technology, I had some health challenges that I was dealing with. And when I started on the product about 4 years ago, or 4.5 years ago now, over time, over several months, I was able to come off of medications and my symptoms resolved. And just the pathway that I was already on, looking for something natural with no side effects, this fit in perfectly with my plan. And I think this kind of goes along with our guest tonight and maybe her plan that you'll hear as well. So first of all, I want to state our disclaimer. These redox molecules do not diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. It just gives the body what it needs to work at optimal level, basically. What we're going to do tonight is show a short video that tells a little bit about the technology and how this works, especially if you're new to this and you've not seen or heard a lot about the technology. We also have some of our medical professionals that will be on that you will get to hear them as well. So I will start with that. Afterwards, we'll introduce our guest tonight is Teresa LeGrand, and she has an awesome testimony just personally and from her family life as well. I think you're going to be amazed at what you're going to hear. Sweet lady, and I guess I've known Teresa maybe what, Teresa, 3 years now, maybe?
3 years, yeah.
I think about the time Nashville, when we came to Nashville, when COVID was kind of, everything was opening up after COVID is when a lot of us got together and met for the first time. So let me start with showing our video. And in the end, we don't open it up for questions, but we will open up the chat. And you can put any questions in there you'd like Teresa to answer. And if time allows, we'll let her answer those questions for you. So let me start with our share. It takes a village, doesn't it?
Hello, my name is Alan Noble. I've been involved in the health and wellness industry for over 30 years, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to introduce you to a cutting-edge health technology that we call ASEA Redox. ASEA Redox represents a new category in health and wellness that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. It could not be done. And yet today, health and medical experts around the world are calling ASEA Redox one of the single greatest health science breakthroughs of our lifetime. Now, a great place to get started is to get clear on what ASEA Redox is not. It's not a vitamin, a mineral, an antioxidant supplement. It's not an exotic juice, essential oil, or a CBD oil. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I'm just saying they're not ASEA Redox. This technology goes beyond nutrition, it goes beyond ingredients, and yet it has the power to impact your health at a depth that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. For many people, ASEA Redox is the missing link to better health and vitality. Now, to understand this technology, you've got to realize that your body is the most complex communication network on Earth. Every second of every day, your cells are signaling and communicating critical messages for health, healing, and repair. If there's any breakdown in that signaling, you cannot achieve your full health potential. You see, this signaling impacts every system, every organ, every function of your body. You could say that if your cells can't signal, then little else matters. Now, you've probably heard it said that we live and die at the cellular level. If you want a healthy heart, have healthy heart cells. If you want healthy lungs, have healthy lung cells. Well, as science looks deeper inside your 75 trillion cells, they've discovered a very special set of molecules called redox signaling molecules. These are the molecules that you make that are absolutely foundational for healthy cell signaling throughout your body. However, here's the challenge. With age, diet, stress, toxins, we begin to make less of these redox signaling molecules. And it's about 10% decline every decade. So by age 50, you've about half the signaling that you had when you were younger. And as a result, things just don't work like they used to. You begin to see, you begin to feel the effects of aging. A simple example. Imagine your home's on fire and you call the fire department and they're there with the big red truck, the firefighters, the fire hose. They've got everything they need to put out this fire, but what if you have a bad cell signal? They don't get the message. They don't know what the problem is, where the problem is, how serious the problem is, and your home goes up in smoke. Well, it's the same with your health. So let me ask you a very powerful question. What if? What if you could amplify and clarify this critical cell signal and empower your body to work like it's supposed to? That would be a game changer. So introducing ASEA Redox, the world's first and only cell signaling supplement powered by high energy redox signaling molecules. And since this technology is backed by 7 patents and over 1,000 trade secrets, there's no other supplement like it in the world. Now, not only is ASEA Redox a cell signaling technology, but it also signals at the profound depths of the genetic level. In an 8-week study, it was found that drinking ASEA Redox could increase 5 important gene signaling pathways by up to 31%, positively impacting 5 major areas of health: immune function, inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, digestive health, and even hormone balance. It's also been shown that ASEA Redox significantly impacts the NRF2 pathway, which is the master switch that signals the production of the most powerful antioxidants known to man, including the master antioxidant glutathione. Now, 2 separate university studies showed that ASEA Redox increases NRF2 activation by up to 60%, resulting in an increase of glutathione production by up to 55%. So although ASEA Redox is not your traditional antioxidant supplement, its impact on antioxidant health is nothing short of astonishing. Now, this is just one key on the ASEA piano. ASEA Redox is much more than an NRF2 activator or an antioxidant supplement. Remember, signaling impacts every system, every organ, every function of your body. If your cells can't signal, then little else matters. So at this point, let's hear what health and medical professionals are saying about the ASEA Redox breakthrough.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries. But now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
So hopefully you're beginning to see why this technology is being hailed as one of the most significant health science breakthroughs of our lifetime. It's empowering people to feel better than ever before. For many, it is the missing link to better health and vitality. And it's not just health. Athletes are experiencing improvements in endurance, strength, and recovery, beating personal bests and breaking documented world records. In a university study, mice drinking ASEA Redox for only 7 days ran 29% further to exhaustion due to significant metabolic shifts in their bodies as they started to burn more fat as fuel. And so amateur athletes all the way to Olympic athletes are enjoying the ASEA athletic advantage. Now, after another 5 years of research and development, the scientists behind ASEA Redox were able to develop Renew 28, a topical gel that is infused with these powerful high-energy redox signaling molecules. So you've probably heard it said that seeing is believing. Well, when Renew 28 is applied to the skin, it results in a healthy, clear complexion, tighter, younger-looking skin, while dramatically reducing wrinkles, stretch marks, cellulite, and many other signs of aging. It also improves skin cell renewal rates and increases skin cell blood flow. We also discovered that when you apply Renew 28 to anywhere that hurts, ideally 3 applications in 5 minutes, over 90% of people notice a significant reduction in their discomfort. Now, I do want to point out that we have continued to expand our range of redox signaling products to include an intensive redox serum for those little trouble spots, and then more recently the redox clay mask, combining our redox signaling gel with an ultra pure bentonite clay. And so headed up by the big blue bottle, this is our cell signaling product division. However, we have 4 product divisions in total. We offer a very clean and effective skincare system called Renew Advanced, high-quality bioavailable nutritionals called ASEA Via, and more recently, fun functional beverages called Cell Performance that address fatigue, brain fog, stress, as well as a vegan amino acid formula that helps your body build its own valuable collagen. Now, of course, the purpose of this video was to introduce you to our remarkable cell signaling technology. Now, we have other videos and websites that go a lot deeper into this health science breakthrough. But for now, I would encourage you to explore some of the other videos on this website. This is where you're going to hear how this technology has impacted people's lives. And some of these stories are absolutely astonishing. Real people sharing real redox results. So this is Alan Noble thanking you for your time today, and bye for now.
If you've not seen this website or checked it out, there are over 140 something testimonials. So you can go in under, it's called Real Redox Results, and the password is Redox, all lowercase letters. And you can search based on the category of something you'd like to search and check out. There's probably a testimony on there for, I won't say everything, but on a lot of common issues as well. So be sure and check that out. If you're late coming to the party, again, this is Redox Nurse Talk, and we welcome you, especially if you're new. So my co-host, Doria Stewart, is out tonight. She's under the weather. So, and again, we all have ups and downs with our health. So I'm sure Doria is increasing her redox molecules intake tonight for sure, because when you have those challenges, sometimes you want to bump it up just a little bit more to kind of stay on top of that. But tonight, we're honored to have a wonderful guest tonight, Teresa LeGrand, and she's becoming quite a celebrity. So we're going to hear from her. I'm going to read her bio, which is amazing in itself, and then we will let Teresa talk, tell us her testimony, and then you can put questions in the chat as well. So Teresa lives in Kelso, Missouri, and I wasn't even familiar with Kelso, but it's a little village of 500 people in southwest Missouri. She's the wife of nearly 40 years to Bill, and mother to 3 children who are all grown up and married to their own true loves. And between them, they are raising 23 children. You heard that, 23. That's awesome. So Teresa has 23 grandchildren. I can't imagine what Christmas looks like. Teresa's been with ASEA for 4.5 years, and she enjoys sharing the amazing benefits with everyone that she has the opportunity to share with. Teresa has turned her own health around through a I think I left a word out here, a 50-day juice fast. Is that what it was, Teresa, a day? She was coming off of several prescription medicines and over-the-counter medications as well. And in doing this, it became clear to her that what we put into our body definitely determines our health and longevity. It's been a passion of Teresa's to lead many people to healthier lifestyle choices. So coming to ASEA was just a natural step that she made in that direction. She has had her own health challenges, which have been a place of education by which she was able to help others. So, and that's where most of our lessons come, unfortunately, through the actual events that we go through, and then we're able to share and to help others along the way. And that's the way it should be. And Teresa has an awesome testimony. So, Teresa, I'm going to turn it over to you and just start us off with what was going on with your life, or where were you when you were introduced to this product?
Okay, so thank you for having me here. I feel very honored to be here. And thank you for everybody that's on this. It's a thrill to see you here. So I was introduced by Cinda Westbrook to ASEA. When ASEA first came to Cape, she was in it from the beginning. And she invited me to a meeting, and Barbie Bassett would come up from Mississippi. I don't know, I think it was a 6-hour drive or something that she had to make to come up to Cape Girardeau to do meetings for us, workshops for us. And in April of 2019, Cinda asked me to come to a meeting, and we had a new grandbaby, number 21. And then in June, she asked me again, and another grandbaby, number 22. And so then, and she asked me in August, there were no new babies coming. So I got to attend the meeting, and I was really impressed. And that's when Miss Claudette came up to me and she said, "You need this." And I said, "Okay," because I trust Claudette. She's been a nurse forever. And our kids went to high school together. We've known each other for many years, and I trusted her. And I think that's a lot of it with people that come into ASEA, is they trust the person who told them about it. And so I trusted both of them. Cinda and I had been doing natural healings for a long, long time. She went through essential oils classes with me. And so that's it. So when she headed that direction, it was easy for me to head in that direction. And then at that meeting, I heard some just awesome testimonials too. And so I signed up that night. And the next morning when I took my first dose, so did my husband. He's been on it ever since I have. So it's been 4.5 years. And we're so glad we're on it. I had somebody tell me the other night that she would rather lose her house than her ASEA. She said, "I'd give up my house before I give up my ASEA." I think that's the kind of way Bill and I both are. But we talked about the 2011 is when I did that long juice fast and came to health then. I didn't know what healthy was. I was on 5 prescriptions and lots of over-the-counter medicine, and went to the doctor every 3 months to, let him check my liver to make sure it wasn't injured. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, and then sometimes get another prescription. And I was taking over-the-counter medicine too. And if you would have said to me, "Are you sick?" I would say no. I think I was just normal, like most normal red-blooded Americans. I'm just on a lot of medicine. And so 2 of my grandchildren, one was 9, Kate was 9, and Thomas was 6. And they said, "Nanny, we watched this documentary with our parents. This man, he was sick and he got well, and you might want to watch that." So the next week I did watch it. And I was really impressed with it. And it was all about juicing. And this man he juiced for 60 days. He had a chronic illness and he got over it. And I figured if a man can do it, a woman can surely do it. Right. So I did not think first thing about juicing, but my 12-year-old granddaughter did. They juiced at their home. So I got her, and we went and bought my juicer, went to the grocery store, and she took Nanny by the hand to buy my first produce to juice. And so I did that and did it for 60 days. And I committed to 10. And in each 10th day, I would commit to another 10. And made it all the way through and changed my life then. And I had so many aches and pains that went away during that time. And when I got off, I was still, you're supposed to still, eat vegetables and fruit. And so I would saute them and put them on whole wheat buns. And then about a week and a half of doing that, And those symptoms that had cleared up started coming back. And that's when I realized I was gluten intolerant. So all of that crazy inflammation I had was coming from, gluten, that I didn't even know what gluten was at the time. I really didn't. I had to figure it out. And so that's really where I started on this road to health. And so then fast forward to 2017, and my health started going downhill bad. And I started getting like waves of emotion. I didn't know you could feel emotion going across your body, but that's what was happening to me. And I would just get up in the morning a little bit, I would feel good, and then I would be just down, just lay on the couch for the day in a fetal position. It was awful. People that know me wouldn't have ever believed that I had been in that condition, but I was. And my daughter Valerie will say I was MIA for 6 months. And I found a great doctor, a functional medicine doctor, 2 hours away in St. Louis. And he did a lot of blood tests on me, found that my first vitamin D was very low. And then he found out that through these tests that I had I'll just call it a genetic malfunction. It's MTHFR. You all might want to write that down if you don't know what it is. MTHFR. And when I started studying about that, I found out that it affects many things, many, many things. And so he said what he would do to help me what he said was, when I went back for my report, he said, now we found that you have this malfunction. And he said, because of that and your age, I think I was 62 at the time. He said, have you had the shingles vaccine? And I said, no. And he said, what about the pneumonia? I said, no. I said, just the flu shot to work in the hospital in pastoral care. And he said, well, here's what I think might have happened to you. Those toxins that were in that were laying dormant in your body. And when you went into stress, they were released, but your body, because of MTHFR, your body can't detox them because it makes your body not methylate properly. And when you don't methylate properly, you don't detox properly. And so he said, what we will do is infusions. He looks at my husband, he goes, but you have to come up here once a week. My husband goes, that's not too far because I was in terrible shape. He didn't know if I'd ever get back to me. And so we went, and I probably had between, I don't know, say 14 to 20 of these infusions, 195 each, not covered by insurance. And those infusions were ozone and vitamins and glutathione. And so then fast forward to, and I did feel better, not well, but I felt better. And then when I was invited to this meeting and I take this big blue bottle home, then Dr. Osler's book comes out in a list of what different things are redox molecules. Ozone is a redox molecule. But ozone was made in a little machine in the doctor's office and had to be injected in the IV immediately. And what I have now at my home is redox molecules that are stabilized in a bottle. And I get to drink them at will in my home. And now with MTHFR, your body doesn't make enough glutathione, sufficient glutathione. And now we know that ASEA upregulates the effectiveness of glutathione by up to 800%. And in the most recent studies, we know what it does with the NRF2 pathway, which is miraculous for a person like me with that malfunction. And now I know that it's not rare. Everybody in my family who's been tested has it. Even my daughter-in-law, not blood related, and her mother have it. So, I mean, I know it's just, if most people that would get tested would find out they've got that to deal with. And now we know what helps us to deal with it. So my health has changed immensely. I'm just not like the same person that I was 2 years ago even. I've been on this 4.5 years. And so when mood came out, that was a big change. So I was still very anxious. I'm not anxiety, because I look up what anxiety attacks look like, and mine did not look like that. But I just had, like I told my doctor, a toxic feeling in my body. And I was very insecure. I had to have my food just right, had to cook just right, was scared to go out to restaurants to eat. Although I did, I was worried about it. And so my friends, when they started talking about going to the convention in Las Vegas, and they were talking about staying at Mandalay Bay, and I was like, do they have a kitchen facility in the room? Because if they don't, I can't stay there. And so they were like, no, and nobody else cared, just me, because I was not right. So then my sister graced me with a condo from a timeshare. So Eric and Sarah and I stayed in a condo, which worked out great for me because I did have kitchen facility there and was able to cook everything. Fast forward now, not even 2 years, and that's when Mood came out at the convention. At the convention, I had an episode that happened there. My cell phone was there with me. We were in a breakout session, and a news headline came across my phone that I didn't agree with, and it sent like a wave of adrenaline through my body. I felt terrible. And I said, I did not come here for this. I came here to have a good time and to learn. And then I remembered that the ASEA store was open, and the Redox or Cell Performance drinks were there in little Dixie cups. They were giving them away. And I thought, I'm going to try Mood. And I went down there and I took 2 of the little cups, drank those, and walked around in the store just a few minutes, and that feeling was gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be it. To be able to have a drink that I can drink and feel like a normal person, instead of having all these nervous, uneasy feelings in me. So that was wonderful. At that time, I was still taking a tiny bit, a quarter of a pill of anti-anxiety medication before I went to bed. And I didn't know how I would ever get off of that. And I brought the Cell Performance home with me. That Mood, I would drink a half pack at night and a half pack in the morning. And after about 2 weeks, I decided when I went to bed one night, I'm not going to take that little quarter of a pill, and I haven't had to have it since. So that was something I didn't think I didn't know how I'd ever get rid of it, but I'm rid of it. So that's great. And here I am today. You have any questions? You want me to stop a minute?
You're doing great. I mean, if you've got more, you go on, or I can ask questions, whatever works for you, Teresa.
All right. Well, yeah, you could just ask me something. I'm sure I'll think of more to say.
Okay. Well, let me go back to, so what were the first things you noticed when you started on the redox molecules? Now, I just want to clarify to people that aren't familiar with our company and our products. We do have multiple products out there now, but the redox signaling molecules is the flagship product. These are the molecules that are in your body. They're innate to your body. We just lose them over time. So what Teresa's doing is putting them back into her body. So when you started on that, what time frame did you notice, and what did you notice first?
Probably first thing is better sleep. I really think probably better sleep. And it just slowly started getting better. My emotions were better. I felt more stable, more grounded. That was something I didn't know what being grounded or not grounded felt like until I went through that. And it was really like not having your feet on the floor. And so that came back in where I didn't have that ungrounded feeling anymore. It's just, you can't have empathy for someone that you haven't been walked in their shoes. Now I really can, because I was at a state that I didn't care if I woke up the next day. I really didn't, because I felt so bad. Days were just scary to me. I would wake up thinking, is this going to be a better day? And before long, it wasn't a better day. And so ASEA every day got better, every day. And It's just wonderful every day. It's not like it just happened all at once, but with every day I was better. And boy, I don't miss it. I don't miss a dose. I know I'm going to see that big blue bottle. I do not run out of it.
It's like life, it's like energy or like oxygen. Basically, you need to have it with you at all the time. So, what about family members? Have you had family members that have noticed some results?
My sister, Kim, she's 8 years younger than me and lives in Cape Girardeau. And when I went to my first meeting, Kim, she works in an office 8 hours a day, and she had a breaking out on her ankle. And she was telling me that she was going to the doctor to get on an antibiotic for that. Well, in the end, she went 8 months in a row to her doctor, and every month the doctor would write another prescription, another antibiotic, and she wasn't getting any better. And on the 8th month, as she wrote that prescription, she said, "Now, if this one doesn't take care of it, the next step will be to recommend an orthopedist to discuss amputation." And my sister goes, "Oh, no, we won't." And Kim said, "I'm going to make an appointment with that functional medicine doctor," which was Dr. Carmen Keith, who was on ASEA herself, who had used it to save her own dad's life. And so Kim went to that appointment about the same time that I went to my first meeting about ASEA. And at that appointment, Dr. Keith shook up a tube, this little tube right here, of Renew 28, and said, "Here, she's going over health history. While we talk, rub some of this on your ankle." And when she did, she said, "I could feel the heat coming out of it when I put it on." And so when I didn't know she'd been to that meeting. So the next week after I went to the meeting to hear Barbie's presentation, I called my sister. We were just chit-chatting as she was driving on a business trip, and I was telling her about this great meeting. And she goes, "That's what Dr. Keith had me put on my leg. Take some to my house." So I got it to her house before she ever got home from the meeting. And she started using that. She also had lymph nodes that were swollen all over her body. And we have two sisters who have had leukemia. One passed away with leukemia, the other one, and she had acute. The other one, 3 weeks later, was diagnosed with chronic leukemia, and she's still living, but has been under hospice for quite a while, 13 months now. And but so Kim thought, okay, I'm just another one of the sisters that's going to have, the big C. And but it wasn't that. She started using the gel and she said, "I just drenched myself in it." She almost took baths in the gel, and right away all that inflammation started coming down. And her leg got better. And Dr. Keith told her she was losing weight like crazy. And she said, it's inflammation that's leaving your body. That's why you're losing all this weight. We ended up finding out what her problem was mold in her body. They live in a beautiful home. There had been a storm that had caused roof damage, and there was mold in the basement bedroom under their bedroom. And all of the construction had been done, all the remediation from the house, but it was in her body. And that's what was causing her problem. Well, we didn't know that this little blue bottle, big blue bottle, just helps with everything. Right? It just helps your body detox everything. So my sister has been to Colorado to snow ski. She's been to the beach a few times. She's been to Disney World. And she still has her leg. And one time at Disney World, she and her son and grandchildren were standing in line for a ride, and she started crying. And her son goes, "What are you crying for?" And they're at Disney World, and she just kind of showed him around. She said, "You see all these amputees here? There are a lot of amputees in line." She said, "That's where I was headed. If I hadn't gone to that functional medicine doctor and gotten on what I did, that's where I was headed." Whew. That's my biggest one in my family, is to see what happened to my younger sister. I couldn't be happier.
That's amazing. And when it happens to family, that's touching. I mean, that's heartwarming. You just feel like that's what it was meant to be. And it's just so amazing that you mentioned that with mold. And I don't think this was a happenstance. I mean, everything's in God's timing. I've actually been going through that with mold. So they had discovered it in this, I'm renting a townhouse and we discovered it. I discovered it. I had suspicions back July last year and they really wouldn't investigate. So some other things came to light in January and then they came in and found it in February. And they've been remediating and they're still trying to put everything back. Now it's out, but I was having some symptoms that I didn't know what was causing it before I found the mold. And I had, like you said, it detoxes. So I've been upping my doses of the Redox for sure. And I actually have an appointment scheduled for my functional medicine nurse practitioner next Monday. So yeah, mold is very serious. And I actually met a guy through a friend who told me about this technology that he owns. He's in Alabama and he has this technology in a machine. It's like a HEPA filter, but it puts probiotics back into the air. And these probiotics, guess what they feed off of? Mold spores. So if you're having issues with mold, reach out to me and I can give you this guy's number. He has some products and machines that can help. And technically, from what he told me, everybody should have one of these in their home anyway, just for the air quality. But that's awesome though, your sister. I've heard so many testimonials similar to that where they've almost lost a limb.
Yes.
And that's pretty severe. That's pretty desperate. So,
Yeah.
and again, with these molecules, we can't say they treat a diagnosis, but we're seeing some miracles take place. And there's nothing that it can't potentially help if it involves a cell. Got another question. I'm trying to think what it was. So how do you share this with people? I know this is your passion now because you had such great results. How do you share it with people, Teresa?
I'm using Facebook a lot,
Okay.
and people don't necessarily message me back through Facebook. It might be a friend who has seen me post several times and then will say, see me out somewhere, maybe see me at church or just a different function, or call me and say, now tell me about that stuff you're using. Would it help with, whatever? And, I watch everything that's on realredoxresults.com. Every, from number 1 to number 144, I've watched them all. And so from that, I've seen what these molecules can have done for so many people. And so when somebody comes up to me, they ask me about something, I'm able to say, I will find you a video and send it to you. I'll tell you what number it is. And that gives them confidence in this product that somebody else has survived it and that they can too. And so really, I love doing that, being able to lead people to that. And the Friday night show and the nurse talk. It's wonderful. I share those all the time.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. And that's good that we can share things, and we have so many tools. If you're thinking about doing the business, we have so much training and everybody helps everybody. And that leads me into the next question, Teresa. So so there was a little bit of a contest recently, and then there was a nice little trip that you could potentially win if you made your mark in the contest. So tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, way back when we had our first baby, I just wanted, then we're going to go way back for this one. I didn't want to work full time. And so what I did was I became a wallpaper hanger. And I posted this on Facebook. It's a prayer on February 20th. It says, delight yourself in the Lord. For 18 years, as my children were growing up, I had a business named Heart's Desire. I was a professional wallpaper hanger and decorator. The name of my business was a tool to witness about the Lord. Now here I am, Lord, reminding you of that scripture, Psalm 37:4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will grant your heart's desire. I would love to win this trip and to get to enjoy time with my ASEA family. You have brought me to a business where I get to meet so many like-minded people who love people and love you. So if it is within your will, this is what I want. I I was able to share this incredible technology with 5 people in 2 days. I know without a doubt that you sent them to me. You keep sending them, and I'll keep telling them. Amen. I love getting to participate in miracles. So
I
that was
love it.
on February 20th. So then the end of the promotion for this trip was this past Friday. On the Monday before that, I put in the chat on our morning call with Terry, I put in the chat, I didn't make it. And we get off the chat and I get a call from Barbara Stalls. And she said, what? You can make it. Just send me your back office. I'll look at it. And so I sent it to her and she told me what needed to be done for me to make it. And so I got to work on it and it happened. And it happened on Wednesday evening that I was able to rank up, go to the next rank, and that qualified me for the trip. And it was Miss Barbara who, if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't be going. It's all Barbara, and I can't thank her enough. And so she is my guest there. You get to take a guest, and so Barbara's my guest.
That's awesome. Well, tell us where you're going.
Oh, Puerto Rico. Puerto
Yeah,
Rico.
nice little trip. And that's what and I'm sure you too, Teresa, love about this company. You and Barbara aren't on the same team, but we are a family and we like to see each other succeed, so it's lifting others up. That's what it's all about. You want to go into a little more detail about what you think about the culture of the company?
Oh gosh, it's just, well, I'm 68 years old. What kind of business could I be in better than what I'm in right now? That I get to meet people from all over this country and some out of this country. Today, I talked with a lady we were telling me, we were talking about people we knew in common. And I went, are you in Canada? Yes, she was in Canada. And then, last night on the call, we were with Laura in the state of Washington. And today, with what was happening in Maryland, I messaged Ricardo, and he's in Maryland. And then we know Terry, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have grown so much with this business. I have friends all over. That is worth so much to me. I mean, nothing can bring me more joy than what I'm doing, and I get paid for it, which is wonderful. I'm having the time of my life.
And how many corporate jobs out there do people get paid for just with having that much passion and excitement about their job? You don't see that anywhere. So that's awesome. I'm so excited for you and Barbara both. Barbara did put in the chat, ask if you packed your suit for Puerto Rico.
I got to shop for one. So can we bring Barbara on and get her?
Yeah, Barbara, if you want to come on.
Sure. I wanted to add that when the beginning of February, we were both driving in separate vehicles down to Terry Latham's event. And I was having a chat with them and her van load, and I was like, hey, how many of you are going to Puerto Rico with me? And one had qualified and the other 3 didn't really know what to do to qualify. So I coached them through that. And I think that was encouraging. And then on Monday, when she said she wasn't going, I was just like, now, Teresa, are you planning on going bronze someday? And she goes, yeah. I said, well, if you make it this week, you get to go to Puerto Rico. And I jokingly said, and you can bring me along too. And I didn't realize she was married. And she's like, oh, that would be great because my husband doesn't want to go. And so it all worked out. And I'm really excited to be going with her. And we are cross-line, but a sea of family is a sea of family. We all care about each other. And, as a result of Teresa's effort, we've got other people in the team come in and, it's just a win-win situation. So I'm real excited. I'm packing my suit.
Well, I also want to thank Barbara. Barbara's played a lot in the fact that we have the Redox Nurse Talk. So she was able to set up that domain and get all that going for us. So, Barbara, you're just an all-around helpmate for everybody, sounds like.
Thanks,
Excited y'all can go.
Marion wants to piggyback in if that's
Okay.
possible.
Sure.
Can you make her?
Does she want to share?
I don't know if you all know that Barbara Stolz did sponsor me into the business. And last year I won the trip. But this year I was super busy helping one of my new associates qualify for the trip. And it's so complicated, but this is so exciting about how we can work cross teams. Barbara, I brought Diana last year. This year, Barbara discovered, just like she discovered Teresa could make it, she worked at the same time with Diana to help Diana to qualify for the trip. So when Teresa qualified, then she decided that she was going to take Barbara. So Diana was going to then be able to take me. So we're all getting to go. And we've all been busy helping our downlines and then not making it ourselves, but then our downlines are helping us get through the trip. It's just been so much fun. And so thanks to Barb and thanks to Teresa, we're all going to be seeing each other. And I just met Teresa for the first time. So this is the beauty of our business.
It really is just making friends every day. You know, we come across new people. It was so ironic when we went to a convention in Fort Worth last year. I met a lady from England who lives in Knoxville, Tennessee, like 3 hours from me.
Wow.
In fact, she'll be our guest. I think it's next week she'll be on. Looking in the chat for any questions for Teresa. Here's one. Teresa says, have any of your grandchildren been ASEA babies?
No, but I'm babysitting for my nephew's baby, and his mother, she was having a hard time getting pregnant. And so she drank a lot of ASEA before she became pregnant and early in her pregnancy. And then she said she used the gel every single day. And that I've never seen a baby as happy as this baby. She just smiles all the time. She'll be in her crib. She'll cry for me to come to her room to pick her up. I'll turn her over and she smiles, and she's the happiest baby I've ever seen. And Cinda Westbrook is on the call, and we went on a little trip today, and Cinda with us, and she will vouch for her. That baby's not normal. That baby is an ASEA baby. And when she was born, the mom had to have a cesarean, but the mom and dad did not know, much about having an ASEA baby. But when I went to see them in the hospital, they told me the doctor remarked about how healthy her umbilical cord was. And I'm like, that's something I've heard Donna Lynn talk about, is the healthy umbilical cord. So now I don't have a grandchild, that is, but I sure have a great, great niece that is. And she's just such a pleasure to have around. And she's 5 months old. And I'm so happy I get to babysit her 2 days a week because I work from my phone. Isn't that wonderful? So when I'm there and she's having her nap, I can go right ahead and work my business. So see what a great advantage that is.
That's another benefit of having your own home-based business. You can work anywhere. I like that. Any other questions in the chat for Teresa? Y'all see any? I don't see anything else coming up.
Teresa, you had mentioned you have a sister on hospice. Do you use Redox with her at all?
We're not using the liquid anymore, but she has skin issues, and we do use that for the skin issues, and it helps her so much. She's been on hospice. She went on a year ago in February. And yes, she's only had one bed sore, and that was cleared up with Redox. Hasn't had another one. So that's been amazing. And yeah, the skin issues, they come and go. They go because we use gel.
And technically with hospice, you're supposed to have a life expectancy of 6 months or less. Now, granted, lots of people go longer than the 6 months, And sometimes people come off of hospice, which that's a good thing. So
Yeah.
you never know.
I want to say something that has been a pleasure for me is I have had people that have come across my path. One of my best friend's sons had to go through treatment, and he used ASEA along with his treatment, and he finished his treatment, and it was as good as the doctor could have ever asked for. And he's doing fine today. And he's my daughter's age. He's Claudette's daughter's age. And so that's like 42. Is that right? 44? 44. And he's doing fine. And I'm so happy about that. And I've had others that have gone through treatment using ASEA. Somebody recently, the wife called me and said he'd had his PSA done. It was 0.004. Great. And so that's what we're looking for, an elderly woman who was going through treatment, and she's in remission now. This is what I live for.
Yeah. I love it. Again, we don't make medical claims, but the proof is in the testimonials that we're hearing. You can't deny the testimonials. These are real people. These are not actors. Well, if there's no more questions, we're going to, if you're new to this and you've not been introduced or not seen this before, and you're thinking about trying the product, just do yourself a favor. Come into this with an open mind. Try the product, give it 90 days minimal, because it takes time to see results, because the things you may be dealing with, the challenges, didn't happen overnight either, and it takes a while to get them resolved. If you're looking for a side business or you want to go on a trip to Puerto Rico like Teresa, look into joining as an associate. And like I said, the team, we're all there to support each other. The training is phenomenal. It's very simple. You can do it with your phone. Just ask Teresa. They make things easy for us, and the customer support is awesome. I've never had a customer support service or company like this. When you call companies and you're on hold forever, or you don't get the right person and they can't answer questions, this does not happen with our company. So next week, hopefully Doria will be back, but we have Carol Montgomery. She's the little lady from England that I spoke about, that I met. And we're going to hear her testimony, and it's going to be awesome. And we just love sharing. So if you know of someone that has a great testimony that would love to share, send their name to Doria or myself, and we'd love to talk with them and get them scheduled for a Redox Nurse Talk. Anybody, anywhere that just wants to share, and we're just spreading the word with this website, with this Zoom. We do upload these to our YouTube channel, so this will be up in the morning that you can go back and watch or share it with friends as well. So any other questions before we sign off? I'll go ahead and stop our recording.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
Thank you. It is Redox Nurse Talk. So just go to YouTube and search Redox Nurse Talk.
Awesome.
Okay,